Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Woof, indeed, Wolfie, as we have our panoramic view outside of our sidey hole here into the foggy morning of episode 585 of the series. Wolfie barks. Lets us know it's, whoa, okay, yeah, I heard you. I know what a creeper footstep sounds like. I know. I've had experiences. All right. Woo. All right. Calm down now. Back away. Be gone. Boom. Headshot. All right. As I was saying, as Wolfie barks to let us know this episode has begun, so do a bunch of woofs go up in the Twitch chat. That is because this is being recorded on a Farlands or Bust Friday, live on Twitch, as I mentioned before. Which way am I going? Where's my compass? There it is. All right, we almost started going the wrong way. But yeah, Farlands or Bust Friday continues. We're recording this live on Twitch. I've got a bunch of questions from donors lined up who just donated right before we started recording or streaming here, so they can listen to their question, get answered live here, and also interact and whatever with the chat and have all that fun stuff happen. But this episode on YouTube, anyway, is premiering. Are we all ready for the red carpet for this premiere? It's premiering on Saturday, April 16th, 2016. And we are still raising money for Child's Play charity, as I mentioned. Surpassed $32,000, up to $32,055.32 at farlandsorbust.com for Child's Play charity. Childsplaycharity.org is where you can learn, specifically, that's not going to go well for Wolfie, I don't think, where you can learn, careful, Wolfie, spawn, yay! You can learn more about the charity itself. We've been supporting them since June 2011, and we're trying to raise $60,000 this season, season 6. Like I said, we're just a hair over $32,000. All right, I guess we're going through here and keep. Whoa, you take that! Oh dang! Oh gosh, why am I all discombobulated here? What was I saying? I was saying something. Yeah, farlandsorbust.com. Keep donating to Child's Play charity. That's all I was getting to. Moo indeed, Mr. Cow. What did you think about last episode, Mr. Cow? What are your thoughts on Minecraft Adventure Update? I tell you what, I forgot. I told you that I did, and I wrote down like a little bit of an outline of all the little bullet points I wanted to get to when I was talking about the combat update. Did I call it the Adventure Update? I meant the combat update, the 1.9 combat update. Obviously, right now, we're playing in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, so it's of no worry to us. But the 1.9 update went on a bit of a talk in the last episode, and had some bullet points to get through, and I forgot the most important of bullet points. That was going to be like my coup de grace of my thoughts on the 1.9 update. And that is the greatest tragedy of all. With the addition of shields, they got rid of sword blocking. Sword blocking. Which I know isn't in this version of the game, but I think it was added in 1.8, right? So this is the last version of the game that didn't have sword blocking, and then they added it in 1.8. I think that stinks. Not so much for the fact that it's a combat technique to block arrows and stuff like that, but because on multiplayer servers, blocking with your sword is like the standard greeting, the hello, the I am friend and not foe communication, non-verbal communication between players. And that is completely lost. The vast majority of the time that I've played in 1.9 anyway, you can block with your shield. The vast majority of the time, I can't even visually see that happen on somebody else's character, which is also kind of a detriment in combat situations. If you did watch UHC, how do you know whether or not you're wasting arrows shooting at somebody if you can't tell, if their shield appears at their side and not in front of their face as it is when they're blocking? But just the loss of the shield, the sword blocking, the little, 45-degree angle in front of your face, It was like a wave. It's a way you could wave to other people. And that was actually kind of one reasons why I like thought, are we sure that the people making this game play the game? Because I don't know why. And maybe it's not as important to everybody else as it is to me. But I find that kind of, when you are now on like a multiplayer server that's running 1.9, I feel like I want to like wave to somebody and do the little shield or the sword block, and I'm like, nope, can't do that. And I'm like, aw, that's disappointing. That's very disappointing. It's kind of like a loss of some sort of cultural significance, I think. If Minecraft, I guess, has a culture, but the Minecraftian cultural significance. So that, my friends, is the exclamation point on the end of my argument, I guess. But yeah, that stinks. I don't even know, like, why can't you sword block if you don't have a shield, you know? Why is that? I don't know the programming. I'm not a programmer, whatever, but I feel like you should still be able to block if you have a sword. It obviously isn't going to be as effective as having a shield, but why is that, you know? It's kind of like, isn't shaking hands was derived out of like a combat situation. It would show either party that you're not carrying a gun or a knife or something. You would open your hand and shake hands. Similarly, the salute in the military salute derived from like knights in armor and stuff would raise the what's that called? The faceplate, basically, on their helmet. They would raise the faceplate on their helmet to show either obviously their superiors and their fellow soldiers, but even perhaps unknown or enemy soldiers, their face well, maybe not enemy soldiers. I don't know why you would salute an enemy soldier, but you know what I mean. These all have cultural significance that have since turned into everyday means of expression, and we've lost that. We've lost it in Minecraft. We must preserve the culture. No, I don't know. All right, am I pushing that a little bit too far? All right, but anyway, that's the last little iota I wanted to mention about that, because we've got a bunch of questions to answer here from donors. Got a bunch of questions to answer, like this one from Phil. Phil says he's recently become enamored with the tiny home trend, and I was wondering, do you think you could ever live in a tiny home? If so, do you think you would prefer one on wheels or in a fixed spot? In case you don't know what I'm talking about, tiny homes are just what they sound like, very tiny houses that are very tiny. Tiny. Some are as small as 100 square feet, like a 10 by 10. So, yeah, I don't know how much of a trend it actually is. I have seen the show. Well, I haven't watched the show, but I have heard of and seen the show on, like, what is it, like Home and Garden TV or Travel Channel or something. Like Tiny Home Buyers or whatever. I think maybe it's a bit over-marketed and inflated by shows and things like that. But I suppose I wouldn't deny the fact that it's a thing that happens, and regardless of whether or not it's more or less popular is not of my knowing or knowledge. Careful, Wolfie. I'm not sure. Like, live in. Like, this isn't like a summer home or like just a little side house, you know, motorhome or whatever. Like, you don't live anywhere else. This is your permanent address in this tiny, tiny house. I think I did just talk about, like, camping and stuff, how I've never been camping. That feels a little bit like camping, doesn't it? I don't think so. And we just here in the chat, in the Twitch, we're having a conversation, a very small conversation, a very tiny conversation about, like, simplifying. We were talking, like, more so on just not buying so much stuff, capital S, stuff, and or talking about, like, wardrobes, simplified wardrobes, or a personal uniform or whatever. I suppose tiny homes are very extremes of that minimalism. I don't think I could, simply because my office is 100 square feet. I need that space to just set up where I work. and exist. I mean, I suppose if I were... I don't know how much money I would be saving living in a tiny house, but I suppose if I were saving money living in a tiny house, that then I would probably rent like a separate dedicated office space, maybe, to do my work. I don't know, but then I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, I don't know that you could work from home from a tiny home. That seems like that would be a difficult proposition. Ooh, look at this. It's like it's ready for a elevated hidey hole to be built right on top of it. Careful of A! Let's do that. And then continue in the morning. Whoa! I saw inside myself. And awakeness. That was a weird dream, wasn't it? That just happens when you... In this version of the game, anyway. I don't think it happens anymore, but when you hold shift in the bed, the camera acts as if you're crouching, but in the horizontal position, so you end up going inside your head. We've experimented with that before, but yeah, I don't think it would be the first thing I would want to do. The tiny house. Careful, Wolfie. Oh gosh, you've been taking so much damage this episode already. Be mindful of what steps you take. So yeah, I'm gonna go with no on that. I mean, not that I want a big house. I think I, in a previous episode, was talking about, oh, if you had like a ton of money, what would you buy? I'm like, I would be fine living in the same house. Careful, Wolfie. Careful, Wolfie. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. I gotta start looking for a bunch of pigs now. I'm surprised I didn't eat that accidentally. Ooh. Spooky noises. Interesting. Careful, Wolfie. Careful, Wolfie. There's a hole there. He just walked right over it. All right. There's a compass. So yeah, probably not. Probably not tiny house. Probably the tiniest I would want to live in would be like... the International Space Station, or a spaceship on its way to Mars. That would be a tiny house for me, but that would be a completely different... That would be a little bit of a different scenario than just having a literal tiny house on Earth that you have to live in. There's some pigs. Boop. So yeah, thank you very much, Phil, for that donation in question. Are you not gonna... Okay. Murder! Ooh, that pig... Oh, that's right, I was completely out. That pig had stuff. Stuff to give. Shadow Wolf. Shadow Wolf asks, how many times have you pressed F3, and what seasons did you do that, and what were those numbers? Well, I press F3 only at the end of the season, and the end of the season is determined when we raise the goal for the Child's Play charity fundraiser. Did I not? Oh, there he is. All right, I'm like, I forgot. Did I make Wolfie stand up or not? So yeah, pretty much after... Well, I guess here's... It's a little bit weird the way Far Lines of Bust seasons are laid out. Season 1 is through episode, like, 20-something. That was the season before we started doing the Child's Play charity. And the first 10 episodes were obviously the normal, standard Let's Play of Minecraft. Season 2 started on June 11th? June something, 2011, when we started calling it for the first time Farlands of Busts, and then when we first started raising money for Child's Play charity, and then after Season 2, we pressed F3. That was November 12th, 2011, and that was 292202. 292202. Keep in mind that all these numbers seem to have some very nice rhythm and repetition to them. Following Season 3, it was August 12th, 2012, 699492 was that number. And then a bit of time later, because my eyes were a little bit wider than my mouth could be, for Season 4, when I thought we could raise $100,000, and then we had to have the help of our friends at Mindcrack to help crack that chestnut. That one came on March 1st, 2014, so we didn't even have a FLoBathon in 2013. But in 2014, March 1st, 1479940 was the number there. 1479940. And then, most recently, on May 31st, 2015, we pressed F3 at the end of Season 5, and that was 2,266,779 blocks from spawn. 2266779. Which is, what is that? That is 18.06% of the way to the far lands, which are at 12,500,something,820 blocks from spawn. Obviously, that was a while ago. We're actually starting to come up on 1 year next month. Well, actually, well, yeah, 1 year since then, but we didn't start this season till August. I took a bit of a break there. So yeah, we didn't start this season till August, so maybe not a full year. But I think this has probably been one of the most consistent seasons of Far Lands or Bust, where when I've switched from the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, record same day, edit, and render and upload on the same day, to the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, which has given me more time to be more consistent. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the next one's going to be. But we've got a little bit less than halfway to get to our goal for Child's Play charity. So who knows? I guess the sooner we reach that donation goal, the sooner we find out what that new F3 number is going to be. I did press F3 most recently. But that's for secrets. Secrets! That was for the Guinness World Records. Needed an update because they need that number for... They need to go to the presses with the next year's edition. So unfortunately, I would love to give them like the next F3 number whenever we have it for the FLoBathon for the end of the season. But they need a lot more of a lead on that sort of stuff. But yeah, thank you, Shadow Wolf, for that very... good question. Most of that information can be found at farlandsbust.com on the About page. I have all those dates down. I don't have all the numbers down, but I have all the dates of the F3 presses down and other such, all the amounts we've raised for Child's Play charity and other such trivia about Far Lands or Bust. Delboy Dylan asks, are you aware of ASMR, and if so, is it something that you experience? I don't seek it out, because now there's a whole other, like when you say ASMR, there's like a whole genre of video, a lot on YouTube, but also elsewhere, I'm sure. There's got to be some other places where those sort of things exist. Those ones, dang it, those videos and things kind of creep me out a little bit, as in a lot of it. But see, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's even, I don't know what it stands for, but it's debated scientifically if it is even a thing. I mean, it's obviously a thing, but for whatever reason, scientists can't, like, map it on brain scans or, nerve readings or anything like that in humans. But that's basically ASMR, is that what it is? Is that tingle down your spine or in the back of your head, in your skull, that you get when I think it's specifically about audio when related to, say, like there's some songs or music or whatever are especially dramatic or trigger some sort of emotional response, send a tingle up your spine or something like that. And or I'm talking about these videos where people do this weird whispery thing. I don't know, it's kind of grosses me out a little bit. There's a lot of lip smacking and yeah, that I think is what kind of the definition of ASMR is all about. But yeah, I mean, I guess I do experience it. I mean, there are some songs, but I also have to be in like have something like a thought process in mind. Like I can't be in a bad mood. Actually, probably being in a bad mood is the best way to experience it. But yeah, I don't know. Certainly there's a lot of stuff, a lot of Sigur Rós songs. There's definitely, they tend to follow the formula of a very slow build up and then a crescendo, if you will, of dramatic orchestral music and stuff like that. And there's other stuff. But yeah, I think it is solely related to like audio stimuli, I think, which is what the A maybe stands for in ASMR. But yeah, I don't seek it out like in video form or in that genre of video YouTube form, but it exists. It's a thing that exists. And like I said, I have looked into it because it's kind of an interesting phenomenon or whatever. Sometimes it'll happen just for no reason. Oh, it happens. It's been a long time since I've gotten a haircut, but it happens sometimes with getting a haircut. If they got the buzzer on the back of the head, I don't know if anybody's experienced that. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. I don't know if that might be like just kind of like a half ticklish thing or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that's another way. Or maybe it's the buzz of the buzzer or something. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. I know little about that. Oh man. Let's see. As the sun sets here, is this the? No, okay. I was gonna say this isn't the last day. I've got another bed. As the sun sets here, let's try to make it to this little plot o land. And then we will build this elevated hidey hole. And answer the next question is going to come from Jinglestog. Jinglestog. So stay tuned for that in the morning. And autonomous sensory meridian responseness. Thank you very much, Twitch chat, specifically Jaded. Autonomous, yeah, that's that word. Sensory meridian response. So maybe it isn't necessarily auditory. Perhaps it's just autonomous means it just happens on its own, I guess. Like it feels involuntary, I guess. Maybe is what that means. So, yeah, maybe. But yeah, I do remember, maybe it was a Wikipedia article or something that, like, medical professionals and scientists who, like, tried to study it, like, there isn't a biological reason why it happens, or source that they can find, I don't think. Alright, I guess this pig... Wolfie is not in the hunting mood today. There he is. Oh, I thought I saw another pig over here. Alright, guess not. Jinglestog, anyway, asks... Wait, where'd it go? If you had to pick anyone that is in Mindcrack or that you collab with to be your co-driver in the Grease Rally, who would you pick other than Cone? Dang it. Somebody who could say things with ASMR. I'm having a seizure. I can't drive. Oh man. I don't know who like can talk fast, but clearly I think is the. Oh good lord. We've gotten ourselves in a situation here. Let's go back down to the water. Trying to think. Beef? Trying to think how Beef talks. Like how he is like his tempo or timbre or whatever the word is. I assume he'd just be going, oh my god, just like at everything, because that's what he does. Anders, yeah, Anders for comedic purposes. For the fact that I wouldn't be able to understand what he's saying, that would actually be kind of funny. I'm probably gonna go with Anders there, although I don't think I've ever like exclusively collabed with Anders on anything other than like the big group streams or group recordings or something like that. But that would be funny. That would be pretty funny indeed, actually. Anders. Like I'm like trying to think of like a way that I could like say what he would say, but I can't even think. No, yeah, I can't even like put the words. I have to ask him to say it. Yeah, Doc. 100 meters. Right 3. left $5. Oh, good times. Good times indeed. Thank you very much, Jinglestog, for that question. Crumbelina asks, do you leave a television or radio on when you leave the house for Eva? My dog cries if I'm gone and the house is too quiet, so I play YouTube for them. Their favorite show is Wayward Wonders. Haha! I do not. Kind of to save electricity, obviously. I don't think Eva needs it. We actually were just talking about this before I started recording on stream. But yeah, she doesn't seem to have, like, separation anxiety. I mean, she gets... Obviously, she does the whole sad puppy eye things when she realizes I'm leaving or whatever, or to go somewhere. But otherwise, she'll just hop up on the couch and sleep or whatever while I'm gone. So there's no real, like, anxiety there that I notice or anything like that. I have noticed she has picked up some audio cues. Most specifically, when I'm recording, she knows that I'm done recording when I say, I will see you next time. Yep, there she is. Yep, she came into the end of the door. All right, so yeah, she knows that. She, of course, now I'm just going to be totally tossing her knowledge of that asunder, now that I'm not stopping. But yeah, she just walked into the door when she heard that. She's probably laying on the bed or something. So yeah, there is some stuff she's gotten used to. Also, not that I'm on the phone much, but I think she's gotten used to, like, when you say bye, or okay, bye on the phone, that, oh, phone time's over, okay, time to play, or whatever. So yeah, there's some stuff she's picked up on. But yeah, no, I don't, she really doesn't care much for the TV, except when there's a doorbell on the TV. Then she thinks it's our doorbell, and then bark, 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 bark. So that's the only time the TV, like dogs barking on the TV, she might, like, look at or something like that, but otherwise doesn't really notice, or howling or whatever. But the doorbell on the TV is a bit of an annoyance, so that's probably a good thing not to leave the TV on or anything like that. But yeah, that was a unique question there. I know Wayward Wonders is Goober's favorite show on like watching my channel and videos and stuff like that, with Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, which may look forward to something of similar nature, nudge nudge, wink wink, say no more, in the near future here. Got a question here from Dravir Sylvanus. It's my 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Dravir. Can you give us some insight into being older than 30? Hey now, who told you? Is there still hope? Is there still hope? What? I didn't read the rest of this question. Oh, that boat didn't break. Well, I guess there was hope for that boat. Is there still hope? Oh, man. Or is everything lost at this point? All is lost. All is lost. Also, I'm still single. Do you have some expertise on this too? I'm sure you have a lot of experience, right? Right. 4 eyes in the word right. I'll answer the first question. Is there still hope, or is all is lost? All is lost. All is lost. I don't know. I mean, they say that 30 is the new 20. I don't know how much I believe that, but I don't put too much or any real emphasis on my own birthdays anyway. Like, it doesn't feel like I've done anything to, like, earn that other than exist. But yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. It's not, I mean, there are, I mean, how do I answer this tactfully? You're old. No, it's time to give up. I think what makes me feel old or older than I feel I should be is more actual, like, physical changes. the age. You know, I feel a lot younger than my body portrays. What with, I think the biggest the annoyance and the bothersome thing, the self-esteem killer, personally, that I'm dancing around is the hair loss thing. That's really annoying to be happening. This seems like it's soon, early 30s. It was happening in my late 20s too, I guess too. But that's, you know, that when I see myself in pictures or whatever, I'm like, that's not me. That's like, that looks like my dad, because he obviously had the same thing. That's where I got it from. But, you know, I think of my dad as he is, you know, now, and, you know, when I was growing up in his 40s, 50s, whatever. So that always is the thing that strikes me. But, like, the number, I don't really care too much about the number, I guess. That doesn't really bother me so much, I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, social pressure. I don't know. There's the whole, like, oh, have kids or whatever thing that, like, people think, like, 40 is, like, the cutoff for that, which it's not. Both societally and biologically, it's not. So, yeah. I mean, aging is weird. I don't, like, I guess similarly, I'm, like, starting to feel like, oh, I really want to get, like, a fun car, a classic car, or whatever like that. I'm starting to get to the point where it's going to seem like a midlife crisis car, and I want to avoid that. But then again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. This is something I've always wanted to do, and hopefully, in advanced age, you have more, you know, the security and the stability in order to be able to do some of these things that maybe earlier on you're not able to do. God, we're all having these these existential crises, aren't we? So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of various factors. I could go on for a while on this stuff, but then again, also a lot of this stuff is kind of personal stuff as well, right? So. But maybe it's the type of thing to... Alright, this is all sand. I can't make an elevated... or another episode hidey hole in sand, so let's come over here. I very well can't do that. Like, even I mean, I was talking about the... sorry, I'm kind of... Fourth wall, I'm kind of looking back and forth at chat as well on this. The whole baby thing, yeah, I mean, that is, I guess, biologically speaking, much more on the female of a constraint or whatever. But even then, I don't think it's healthy to put deadlines on these things. I mean, obviously you could, like, see a doctor or whatever and actually get, like, true information about what your specific biological clock is doing. But yeah, when you end up putting deadlines on things and timelines on things is when you start to... Oh, nuts! Is there a tree around here? I don't have enough wood. We are in the middle... Oh, here's a tree right here. How convenient. Okay. Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool. We're gonna chop down this tree. But yeah, when you put, like, self-imposed timelines on yourself, or even just, like, based on goals that society gives you, or expects you, or you feel expects you to do, that's when you start to make hasty and perhaps decisions that might not be right for you, or your situation, or the people you're with in particular. I think. I don't know. You ask if I'm an expert at these things or other things. I am not. I very clearly am not. I'm barely an expert at Kurt. Hey, that rhymed. I am, however, an expert poet, and I did not think of it. Or not. But sorry, I realize I only have one iron ingot left, so I'm gonna smelt this iron and then forget about it, because that's what I did before. There was like 5 or 10 episodes ago I smelted some iron and completely forgot about it when I started the next episode. So yeah, there's no real proper way to life, to do life. Oh, I already made the beds. What am I doing? There's a proper way to make beds and end an episode of Far Lands of Bust, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't feel these things too. Like I was just talking about the car thing, or even about like financially speaking things. You know, people expect certain, I don't know, stuff like, oh, you're 30 whatever, then you must have everything under control and blah blah. You own a home, or you know, or have this amount saved, or have a retirement account. But you know, it's kind of there's pressures all around there, and I feel them too, and you know, I maybe sometimes feel it even more so because I mean, this YouTube thing, this streaming, specifically streaming, going to a Twitch PAX party really makes a guy feel old. Whoa! But yeah, I'm kind of, there is a lot of emphasis on. Did those all cook already? Wow! Super service here from this furnace. I guess I won't forget those after all. That was really quick. Was that not really quick? Has smelting become slower in updates? Dang it, Mojang! But yeah, just dealing in this industry is a bit obsessed. Maybe not obsessed, but that's just what's marketable is the youths, and to the youths are the audience, and the young folk are the ones perhaps that have a little bit of an advantage. I mean, maybe not. There's advantages. There's very different ways to play this, but just in my own mind, my own insecurities, I suppose I feel that. But what was I saying now? I totally forgot what I was like. I was gonna say something. I was gonna like end it on like a really nice note, but I forgot. Wait. It's on the tip of my tongue. The day is going to rise. The sun is going to rise by the time I think of it, though. Buckets of raisin bran. Speaking of getting old, everybody get out your bran flakes. Go to farlandsbus.com. Keep donating to Child's Play charity. Thank you everybody who donated today. I didn't actually get through all the questions here. There's 4 more that I'll get to on Monday. There was like a perfect little saying that I had in my head, but then I lost it when I started talking about Twitch parties. It was... blah. Dang it. I could like see the person saying it too in my head, but I can't make it come out of my mouth hole. I'm gonna think of it and tell everybody in Twitch. So that's your motivation to come to these Farlands Bus Fridays on Twitch if you can. But yeah, I'll end it on what is quite the opposite of a very succinct and poignant phrase. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody have a good weekend. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. All is lost. All is lost. All is lost.